Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to your very own 6 to 8 channel. I'm Aishwarya and
I'm Ankita.
And today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, right? Of course, normally ma'am, I think it goes across as very controversial.
Yes, and one topic that, I think majority at this particular age don't feel comfortable in talking about or,
Yes.
Because we don't have that much right information.
Right. So today what we are going to be talking about is something that is happening and that is normal. It's part of nature, part of life.
Yes.
That is the concept of periods, right? And here, of course, very important thing, ma'am, I think we should say in the beginning itself is that this class is not just for girls. It's for everyone, including the boys who are here, right? Everybody. Yes, it's important that you understand the science behind it and, we are acting according to that.
So take this movement, right? If you're here, I would suggest that stay with us throughout the session. It will not be a very lengthy session. We will try our best to answer all of your questions and have some patience, right? You can definitely ask us questions, but wait for us first to explain, and then of course we'll continue.
Yes, and please don't spam on the chat, everybody, because of course it's important to understand that sometimes when you send a lot of messages, they tend to get timed out, right?
Yes.
So we're giving you a disclaimer in the beginning. And now we have so many students.
Yes. So, okay, we'll start from here. We have Soumya, Bhavya, Anita, Akansha, Haripriya, Parmika. Very nice, beautiful name. Hi. Ma'am, then we have
Shreyasi, Adhya, yes, Mrunmai, all right, Harsimran, Gungun, Alka, Shamika, oh my god, Sai is here, Khushi, yes, thank you. Can we reduce the font size a little bit? Yeah, it's a little too zoomed in. Yes, this works. Hi Ritika, yes, I have everyone here. All right, everybody, please tell your friends to join, share the link with them as well. Now, very quickly, everyone, before we get started, it's important that both my audio and ma'am's audio is clear, right? And what you can see us clearly and what we are writing on the screen is visible. Video is not clear. Can you all please refresh your page, everybody?
Yeah, because over here it's clear.
Yes, can you all refresh the page? Ma'am's voice should also be clear, everything. Your voice is not linking with the video.
Oh, is it?
Alright, can we just check one so that we don't have any technical glitches?
Yeah. So we'll just wait for few seconds. Again, you can write in the chat and do let us know that, if my voice and is kind of in sync with the audio now.
Yeah.
So video now.
You can just see, if you're facing any issue, right, I'd say that just close the link, close YouTube, and come back on YouTube once again and refresh it. And I hope it should be good to go, right? Yes. It's all perfect now. Clear. We can start.
Awesome. Thank you for letting
your voice is again not linking. A lot of them are saying your voice is not matching with the video.
Okay, wait. I'll just quickly go and I'll quickly come back to speak something now.
Okay, all right, everyone. So Ankita ma'am is just checking in her phone as well, right? So that everything is good to go. Yes. Just give us a minute, everybody. Just give us a minute, okay? Till we are going to sort it out. We'll not start until, ma'am, everything is all right. So for some of you it is fine, but some of you are facing issues because I can see that a lot of you are saying my voice is not linking. Okay, can you all exit YouTube and come back? Can you close the page and join the link once again? Can we try that, everybody? Give me a quick thumbs up, leave and come back. Right, but come back, okay? If you don't please leave and not join back. Please join back. For those of you who are facing issues. Can you leave and come?
I did.
Are we still facing issues, everybody? It is there again. Okay,
yeah,
give us 5 minutes.
Yeah, it is there. Yes.
Okay. Just give us Yes, I'm back. They removed me in between. So I thought I'd write on screen. Yes. You're still facing some issues. So we have some more people here. They're working, right? Is it getting better, Ankita? 65 people in the live and we're facing some issues, guys. Please be patient. We are getting it sorted, all 65 of you. Thank you so much. We're going to be talking about a very important topic, but since some audio issues there for most of you, we are sorting it out, right? Yes, are you all with me? Can you give me a quick thumbs up? Will you be just a little bit patient? Yes. Amazing, everybody, amazing. Thank you so much for being the best bunch of students that we've ever come across, right? You are all truly the best. You're so patient. They truly understand.
So, just one thing. I know that there will be, the team is trying their best, right, to make sure that the audio and the video are kind of in sync. But if you agree, we'll move a little bit ahead so that those of you who are here will not be, taking much of your time.
We'll not be wasting your time. Can we get started? We'll slowly start. We'll not go deep into the session.
Yeah.
We'll quickly go little by little so that in the meanwhile they'll sort it out. Can we do that?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes. Physics versus biology. Yes. All right. Okay.
Yes.
It's good to go. All right, everybody. Are we clear now? Our audio and video is matching. The team is giving us a thumbs up. Are we good to go now?
Thank you so much, Harsimran. Now it's fine. Yes, now it's perfectly.
So our team has done the magic. Thank you so much, Vishnu. Thank you, Harish. Yes, you can thank them also in the chat. They're the ones who sorted it out. How many minutes? We'll try to wrap it up in 30, but it may go on to 40 minutes, okay? So, ma'am, I think we can quickly tell them about the BYJU'S Scholarship Test.
So, how many of you have registered for this test, right? I'm sure you must have seen all the teachers talking about it, and this is a really very important exam. Now, it's BYJU'S Scholarship Test. Now, we all feel that, okay, what is the use of writing this test? It actually gives you a chance to explore the areas where you want to, move ahead in life, right? If you like maths, science, or any other different subject, SST. So this will actually help you. And of course, there's a detailed analysis that happens. Apart from that, there is a chance for you to win 100% scholarship. And most importantly, ma'am, they can fly to Australia.
Yes, those 3 lucky winners along with their guardians. This is, of course, the cherry on the cake. But the most important thing is the exposure. And, of course, it is important to understand that, the scholarship that is there. And of course, to prepare you more, and I know how much you all love the 2-teacher advantage, here is a more, I would say a more elaborative way, because ma'am, how much ever, and I know today in the Telegram session, so many of them told us to come live and teach them. But because we are limited to the platform that we have, right? So we are requesting all of you to try out the mini learning program where you can experience the 2-teacher advantage, and of course, you can have an in-depth live doubt solving session, right? So all you need to do is to use the YT first code, and the first 500 users every week can avail it for free. Yes? So of course, everybody do check out the mini learning program. It will definitely be helpful for all of you, and you can recommend it to your friends as well. So for Chandani's doubt, because Chandani, we do see your session, right? So there has been a slight shift, which is why we felt this session was a little important and a little quick to address, which is why that has been moved a little earlier, right? So let's get started, everyone.
Yes.
So ma'am, I think first thing is to maybe show them an incident.
Yes. And I'm sure you must have seen something very similar.
Yes. So I want all of you to now just watch this video, right? And all of you have to tell me what do you observe. So ma'am, maybe I can just move a little bit. Yeah, we'll be on the outside. We want you to all watch the video, okay? Yes. So if you see, what did you all observe? What is it that you observed on screen, right? Can you all tell us?
Yes, everyone?
There was a black cloth, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Roopchand.
Man gave cover. No, she's not going to go by vegetables. There was a black polythene cover. Very good, Anika. Very good.
Yes. So, I think not so very long back, if you go to a medical shop or any shop, right, and if you ask for the sanitary pads, what will happen? Either they will wrap in a newspaper or they'll give you in a plastic, black plastic. And especially in these shops, they'll have those, black plastics or the newspapers. So what do you think about it? Is there something to hide it? What is the need for the individual to hide it and then give it to the person who came for?
Yes. All right. Nothing to shame about.
Very good, very good. So, everyone, I think we would love to read your chat. Meanwhile, you watch this other video. That will give you a chance to understand that what you all are saying is absolutely correct. So let's see the other way around.
Yes, there is no shame at all. It is entirely normal, right? So like how all of you are telling me that's not good, that need not be done, right? So it's important. How sweet, Harsimran. So very quickly, guys, we want all of you to watch this video and tell us what you feel about it.
Yeah, it's normal, right?
Yes, it's normal. Now, what did you see in this?
It's normal, yes. Such a small clip, right? But with so much detail and of course very important message for all of us.
Yes, she's saying not to hide the pads.
Yes.
This is what should be done. It was out of the bags. Smart lady. She
Very good. I'm sure when Richa ma'am will see this video, and I'm sure she's watching, she will understand and she'll be happy with this.
Yes, she'll be happy to see that all of you are such wonderful students who are so understanding and you are all aware, right? She didn't steal anything.
That's not the case.
Yeah. So she didn't take the plastic bag and she took the sanitary pads as it is. And now we know that sanitary pads are used when girls are having periods, right?
Yes.
But the first question and the first important understanding is what are periods, right? That's important to understand. So ma'am, what are periods?
My question as always will be, you tell us what you have the understanding about.
Yes. What do you know?
Yeah.
And then we will go ahead with it.
Yes.
No, Pampa, we're just getting started. Don't worry. We had some issue in between.
Yes.
So it's okay. Why does it happen is what we are here to tell you for. But we want to know what you know about it. I don't know. It's a new topic, okay?
Okay. I can see some answers coming. Shedding of very good, Harsimran. Shedding of lining of the uterus. Very specific. The pain. Okay. Nothing. Yes.
It is not, okay, that is also a period, but we're talking about something which is related to the feminine body, right?
Yeah.
As a girl, I know, but you don't know. A womb, okay.
Okay.
It's waste blood, okay. New topic. See, we want to know so that we know what all concerns we
Yes.
need to address, right?
Very good.
Oh,
Okay.
Harsimran was there in that session.
Yeah. Good. So, okay, now that we know that you had a little bit idea about it, so if you put this in a very layman language, what happens that we have the puberty, right? And of course, as we are growing, initially we start from, of course, from 0, then we goes ahead, and we reaches up to an age of teen, right? We enter the age. And at that particular time, not the numbers I would say, but our body experience a lot of change. Now it can happens at 10 years also, sometimes 15 years also. It varies, but mostly it occurs from 12 to 14 age, right? And we call it as the adolescence, right? And during that period, what happens, there are a lot of changes that happens in the body. A lot of hormonal changes happen that actually leads to the changes in our body, be it the physical change, the behavioral change, and in terms of whole body changes. So one of that change that we see is the happening of the period, right?
Yes. And now I am sure that all of you must be wondering, right? Why is this adolescence phase even important, right? I mean, we have definite phases. We have childhood, adolescence, adulthood, right? Now let's look at it on a broader perspective, right? We are all living organisms. Now, all living organisms, in order to survive and continue in this world, right, they need to reproduce or make more of themselves, right? Reproduction is normal. So, if you look at any dog, you look at a dog, you look at a cat, you look at, even the smallest animal, like a microbe, they will all make more of themselves so that they need to keep continuing in their life, so that their species will survive. Now, in the case of in our case, right, even we have to reproduce as humans. Now, the thing is, from childhood, our body is fully developed only in adulthood. Now, this cannot happen overnight, which is why, like how ma'am said, right, we have a lot of changes that takes place to achieve complete development of the body. And that is what happens during the adolescence phase, or what we say as teenage, right? So this is what you need to understand. And like ma'am said, one such change that they would observe is the happening of periods or menstrual cycle. Yes, ma'am. So I think we can quickly take them through what is a period or a menstrual cycle.
Yes. So we have over here, like in a very simple layman language, we can see that a period is a part of the menstrual cycle when a woman bleeds, right, from her vagina for the few days. And we, in this particular duration, we will see the shedding of the bloodline. Now, this is where we will be talking about, we will be going into the details of it. So I just want all of you to have some patience. We'll be moving from slowly from one step to another. So, but now tell us, are you clear? Or like, do you have the clarity that what are periods, right?
Yes, and why it happens, right? Does it happen all the time? It is a cyclic thing. It's a monthly thing. It will happen, right? It's a monthly thing that goes on, and we'll tell you a little bit more on it.
Very good. Thank you for telling us that it's clear, and I can see lots of thumbs up. Very good. Now, those of you who still have doubts, stay with us during this session for sure. You'll be able to understand.
Yes.
Now, as few of you were asking in the beginning that what is a cause of it, right? Now, of course, being a science student, that one should have the curiosity of knowing the why for it, right? Okay, why we grow, etc. Or why, how the digestion happens, etc., etc. So here also, what is the cause of a period? Now, as ma'am mentioned, that from childhood to the adulthood, there are a lot of changes happens, and the main change that we're talking about is happening in our body, be it in terms of the hormones.
Yes.
Now, many of you are asking what are hormones. So, ma'am, what are hormones?
So, again, and before I go ahead, it is not a disease, okay? It is not a disease. It's a natural thing. Embrace it, right? Now, it's important to understand it's a process that takes place within our body. Now, like I told you, our body is undergoing changes because it needs to be fully developed, right? You think about it as how you grow as a baby. We grow. So many changes keep taking place when we are young. Now, what happens is that to control and regulate, see, whatever we do, our body will control it and coordinate it and will regulate it, right? Now, for all of this, to tell different parts that, hey, you got to do this, or hey, you have to do that, our body has some chemical messengers, right? So we have these chemical messengers in our body that carry out these changes. And these chemical messengers that bring about these changes are called as hormones. And hormones are produced within our body, and they are the ones that regulate or control how these menstrual cycle happens, right? So it is important to understand what is this. Yes? But in order to understand why exactly this happens, we all need to, whether it's the girls or the boys or everybody out there, we need to have an understanding about the female reproductive system. So ma'am, I think you can quickly take them through the female reproductive system.
So when we talk about the different parts, right, over here, I'll just use a different pen and I'll come over here. Yes. Okay, I might just cover everything.
No,
so
over
here
on this side.
But I'll be lefty, so I say.
Oh, no, it's fine.
So, yeah, we Always, I think any one of you who are left in class will understand this struggle. Okay, so we're talking about the female reproductive system. We'll start with a very important part that actually plays a most important role, and these are the ovaries. Now, you'll be learning more about them in your higher classes, but right now you need to understand a very important one thing. Now, ovaries are called as reproductive organs in a female body, and they are the one that actually produces the egg. Right? We'll call it as an egg. Yeah, we call it as ovum also, but for our understanding, we'll call it as egg. Right? So we have this egg, and of course this egg will be released from the ovary. Now everyone, I want like 3 minutes of yours, full attention over here, what I'm telling you over here, and then we'll move ahead. Yes. So what we are talking about, we're talking about the female reproductive system. Ovaries are there, and of course, ovaries produces the egg or the ovum, and they release it in the fallopian tube. Tube word, right? We have a tube, so basically it will be receiving it, and the egg will be moving. Are we clear? Yes, thank you, Adya. See? I don't want to sound those, but yeah. Very good. So this egg will be moving in the fallopian tube. Very good. Thank you so much everyone for giving the thumbs up. It just, builds up more energy. Yes. So, of course, this egg will be moving into the fallopian tube, and from there it will be reaching the uterus. Now, as many of you were writing earlier, uterus is also called as the womb. Right? And in uterus only, the baby will grow from one single cell to a good size baby, right? That will be growing in the uterus. And of course, then we have the cervix, and through the cervix and through the vagina only, the baby will be pushed out from the mother's body. Now, there are two important points that we have to remember, that through vagina and through the cervix, the sperms will enter. So basically, these are the reproductive parts of the female reproductive system. Everyone clear? So two things we have to remember. Most importantly, there are two parts that we'll be focusing in today's class that will actually helping us to understand more about it. First, ovary, releasing of the egg, and the uterus. Very good, very good. I hope I made some sense.
No, it's just that normally we have a flow in teaching, right? So it's always best when we go in that one flow, because it's always clear, and Ankita ma'am is very amazing with all this. And I feel like they have all understood it. Right. So all of you have understood this. Now we'll go on to the second part, like what ma'am said, is that we are going to focus on two things, right? So we know the structure of the reproductive system. Yes. Now we need to understand as to why or what causes the period. Now the thing is, like ma'am told you, we have the egg that is being produced by the ovary, right? And we know that the development of the young one takes place inside the female body. And specifically, just give me 1 minute. You can move me to that side only. Can we get shifted there? Yeah. Okay, sorry guys. So anyway, like I was saying, we know that the development of the young one will take place inside the female's body. Yes? So now what happens is that this development takes place inside the uterus. Now what happens every month? Yes? Can we get me to the opposite side where I was initially? Yeah, so what happens every month is that the inner linings of the uterus, right? So this is, uterus here is a muscular organ. So I want you to focus on this part, that it is a muscular, pear-shaped organ. Yes? And what happens here is that every month the uterus will prepare to receive the young baby, right? It will prepare itself. So what it will do, there will be over the 28 days of, about 10 to, I would say 14 to 18 days, whatever is there. We see that there is inner lining. The inner linings of the uterus will get thickened, or there will be depositions of the blood. Because what happens, or what the uterus is mentally preparing itself for, is that from the, once the ovum is released, the sperm and the egg will fuse, it will come here, and the young embryo will get attached, right? And once the embryo gets attached, we know that blood is what is responsible for transporting all the necessary nutrients, oxygen, and all of that. So that is why it will start getting its deposited there. But now what happens is that if the sperms and the egg don't fuse, right? What happens is that this blood is not needed. So that is why effectively we see that all this blood will get shed out. Yes. So that is exactly why this is a monthly thing that takes place. Which means that every month from the female's body, one egg gets released. Okay. So we have a pair of ovaries. So we have the, let's assume that this is the right ovary and this is the left ovary. So if in this month, right, we see that this ovary will release an egg, next month we see that the left ovary will release an egg. Yes, what is sperm? Now see, in our body, right, to reproduce, to make more of our cells, our body will produce reproductive cells. Yes. So our body is very efficient. It has everything so that whatever process is there, it has all these cells, right? So we have these reproductive cells which are called as gametes, right? Now gametes are nothing but the ones that come together and fuse. And eventually they will keep growing and growing and growing and they become the young baby. That is why they're involved in reproduction, hence we call them as reproductive cells. And all of this making sure that the egg is released, right? Somebody has to tell the ovary, right? Hey, it's time for the egg to get released. Or hey, it's time for the deposition of the blood to happen. Or hey, you know what? It's time that, the fusion has not happened. So let's, get rid of all this blood. We don't need it. Somebody has to be telling the body, right? They'll not understand by themselves. Somebody has to always be controlling it. That is what we call as hormones. So are we clear with this part? Yes, we have tag teamed and taught them reproduction. Are we clear with what is happening? This is exactly what happens. It's not a disease, right? It is not something that is bad. Yeah. It is our body preparing. And see, when especially till the age of 18, the female reproductive system in itself is also developing, yes, right? So it is not very ideal. The body is not ready even to conceive or to make a young baby, right? It's still developing, which is why it is important to understand that this is a natural process. So ma'am, I think we have a very technical definition of what is, a menstrual cycle. Yes. So I think we can quickly tell them about that as well.
Yes. So of course, as both of us have explained you what is egg, right? When the egg is not fertilized, when there's no fusion of the egg, what will happen? The uterine walls, right, that ma'am explained, right, that there will be formation of these walls. What will happen? These walls will shed themselves. And as they shed themselves, there will be a cycle, and of course that cycle is called as a menstruation. And of course the duration varies from 1 to 8 days, 1 to 6 days.
Yes. And because the whole process is menstruation and because it happens on a monthly basis, we call it as menstrual cycle.
Yes.
And just to help you visualize this,
yes,
we have a video that will show you how the inner lining thickens, right? So what you see behind us is the female reproductive system and this is the uterus, yes?
Yes.
So you will be able to visualize this. We'll go out of the screen so that you can see this properly.
And just one thing before we go off, see, focus on this if you can. Okay, like I'll not be able to write on this. But if you can see on top, okay.
Ma'am, I think you can write.
Achha. But it'll, okay, but it'll be, yes.
You can use a yellow one. Yeah. So just focus on what ma'am is drawing, okay?
Yes. Just focus on these triangle over here. You will see that they will actually increase in size. So yeah, we'll go now. If you see, you can see the, thickening is, the uterine walls are getting thicker. Yes?
Yes.
Very good. See, from here, they were here, right? And we can clearly see them now. They have moved. Yeah, that was good that we marked.
Yes. So now can you see, right? It's becoming thicker. That means more amount of blood is getting deposited. So now are you able to visualize what we mean by this?
Very good. So we'll play it again if you want.
But why do they become thicker? Because like I told you, the development of the young baby takes place inside this part that you see right on top. Ma'am's going to highlight it. So this is where the baby will, get attached and will start growing, right? And the blood is required for the baby to get nutrition. Yes? See, I'm saying baby as a very colloquial term. There are technical terms which we will learn when we do reproduction in animals.
See, in a very simple, like as ma'am had mentioned that, initially when ma'am was explaining that we all need nutrient, right? And we all get the nutrient from blood. So similarly, the growing baby over here will be needing the nutrient and that comes from the blood. Simple.
Yes. Now, what happens during menstruation is what we are going to view next. When we say there is shedding of the blood, you will now see this. So when it's no longer needed by the body, it will just shed it out like this. Yes. Now see, this happened very fast, but it takes over 3 to 5 days, right?
Yeah.
So 3 to 5 days is the ideal time that it takes. So ma'am, I think now we can go on. So now that we know the biology of it, right ma'am, I think the rest of it becomes very simple for all of them.
And I think all of you are clear because you're writing crystal clear. So let's talk about that. When do most girls get their period? Because we were looking into the chat and you were discussing about it. So it varies from individual to individual, right? Depending on the lifestyle, depending on our health, depending on various other conditions.
Diet as well, ma'am.
Yeah, diet plays a very important role, yes. So it varies from different age. Yeah, many of you are writing about the age. When we talk about it, it started at the adolescence, right? And yeah.
So some, it comes very early, right? Sometimes 9, 10, but for some people it will come even later, like 13, 14, 15. So it's always a bar, right? And every body is different, right? So it's important to understand that every body is very different and composition matters, diet matters, your lifestyle matters. So it's okay. Whenever it comes, it comes.
Yes.
But I think, ma'am, because sometimes it comes very young, sometimes the kids are not aware and they get very scared about it.
Yes, they get. And at that particular time, it's really very important for you to feel that it's okay. It's all natural. You should talk to your parents, right? Talk to your teachers, right? Someone elder who has some more information than you. Rather than talking to your friends, yeah, definitely you can talk to your friends also, but they will not be able to guide you more further because they also have that amount of similar information that you have. So always talk to your elders and they'll be able to help you. Very good, yes.
Yes, and another thing also happens is that, right, like they get very, so it's not just about scared, right? So sometimes, see, another thing why we were telling the boys also should be there is also so that we are all helpful to one another. We understand that, okay, this is a natural thing that is happening to my friend, to my classmate, and we are mindful, respectful, right? I at least, ma'am, I think normally in my sessions as well, I tell them a lot, even the academic sessions. It's important to be respectful and kind to one another.
Very important. Yes. So for the boys, I hope that you have the clarity, right, that what we are talking about.
Yes.
And when in terms of what happens inside the body, we have not gone into the detail, but yeah, it's a not very comfortable state for a girl to be in.
Yes.
So if you respect them, if you be very kind to them, that will be helping.
Yes. And the same thing, guys, it's important to understand is that because the body is going to undergo a lot of changes. And for you boys as well, your body will undergo changes. It might not be the way it is happening in girls, but for your body as well, there are going to be equal amount of changes taking place, right? So it's important to understand this. Now, does period happen regularly when menstruation starts?
Now, it can be irregular, especially when it starts. So, it could be irregular for a few months, but after time, it will get perfectly regular. So, you don't have to be afraid of it, right? Again, as we have already mentioned, feel free to talk to your elders if you have any concern, right? They will be able to guide you. And of course, definitely, furthermore, if you need any assistance, your parents can take you to the doctors.
Yes, and it's always good to get, so if you are feeling uncomfortable, right, because only you will be able to voice out your opinions because nobody else will be able to understand what's happening with you. So you have to be confident enough to tell your parents that, or tell your mother or tell your family members that, you know what, I'm not feeling very good, and you can tell them what's happening. See, they will definitely, like, they know you, they will definitely take you to the doctor, right? So it is important that you are always talking about it. Ma'am, I think Anika has asked a very interesting question.
Yes, I was about to answer that question, that even though we as the science individual or as bio teachers and of course as educated individuals will understand this is a very natural process. It happens to all the females, but why sometime or there is, why sometime or some people will call it as is that a shame? Oh, you should not talk about it. Don't tell anyone that you have periods. Don't, basically voice out your opinion about it. Now, this question goes back, long back into the times. So people were kind of unaware about these things. They were not aware that what is happening. They thought that it's not it's a kind of disease, as you mentioned, right? They didn't have the proper knowledge about it. And of course, there were a lot of you'd say that there were a lot of thoughts involved, right? So at that time, they were not so clear that, okay, how we should take it. But now with the education, we know that it's perfectly normal and we should not be, ashamed of.
Yes. Now, I think there are two questions, ma'am. It was not a direct one, but I think one question, which is, yeah. But before that, one more thing is, are periods never ending? Is there a stop to periods, or is it going to be something that's going to go on and on and on that's going to be there? What do you guys think? Because I think some of you have answered, but I would like to know what all of you feel that way. Are periods never ending?
Oh yeah, that's
Why only girls have periods? Because the female body is designed for the development of the baby, and it happens within the body. Now you look at animals, right? In most animals, the development happens, or for those wherever, like especially in mammals, development of the young one takes place within the female body, right? And we are mammals. That's why only girls have this.
Very good, yes. No, ma'am, it stops from 55, it stops at 45.
Age of 70. Okay. No.
A
Little before that, yeah.
A little before that.
So there is this period, what we call as the reproductive age, right? Or the reproductive phase. So women, the start of the period is what we call as menarche, right? And then you have the whole reproductive phase that is going to be there. And eventually we see that around, ma'am, I think 45, 50, women hit menopause, which means that after which there will be no more periods. So it's around 45 to 55. Again, ma'am, I think it's dependent on individual.
Dependent, but it's if we talk in terms of the average age, it's from 45 to 50.
Yes, and ma'am, I think we can take the other question as well,
yes.
right? Why do we feel emotional and PMS and...
So I think it's all just because, see, for example, let's, at a very, very simple, I don't know why people just make so much fuss about it and just create so much of, I will not say that, lots of drama around it here, right? People just call us, oh, you have this. For example, you wrote a test, right? And you were preparing for that test, but that test didn't go as you planned. And of course, you are sad, right? You will be sad for some time. At that time, if someone will give you chocolate, if someone will give you, oh, let's go and play game, or if someone wants to cheer you up, you will not feel, because you're inside, you're not that happy, because you felt that you can do better. Now, similarly, now comparing that to our body, what happens that there's a pain, right, which is normal. Now, of course, we cannot avoid the pain over there. Now, many of you are asking that why the periods are painful? Because as a contraction happens.
Yes.
The contraction, for example, like if we have the, okay, for example, if we have those spongy, smiley balls, right? There's a contraction happens. So just imagine in the uterus, we have the contraction. And when that happens, it actually gives you a lot of pain. That's why the periods are painful. And that pain reaches throughout our body. And that's why, even if you're on everything is fine, you don't feel that energy. And that's why some people say,
Yes, and see, it's completely fine. Now again, I would tell you that sometimes for some people it's extensive pain and you get cramping, because see, your body is made up of so many muscles, like ma'am said, right?
Yeah.
And I told you, the uterus is a muscular organ. But that's not the only muscle. You have muscles around you. So your uterus, and especially in the female body, it's located in the abdomen region. Your surrounding muscles are there.
Yeah.
So when contraction and relaxation happens, your other muscles in and around are also going to get affected. So it's completely okay. And take rest. Put a hot water bag.
Yeah.
Take rest. That's it. Don't worry. And if you want to play, see, if you are not feeling well, I'll say don't play. But sometimes they say, right, even if you move around a little bit, it actually helps with the pain that is there. So it's important to understand. Yes, tampons and sanitary pads, we will be, talking about it in the next part. But very quickly, guys, have you understood everything about whatever we've said so far? Very quickly, thumbs up.
yes.
We'll take all the questions that are coming.
Very good, yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, what is menstruation? Shubhamvito, I think your friends will tell you. All of you, tell your friend Shubhamvito what is menstruation, because he's having this doubt and he's been asking, we've been getting this for quite some time, so you can tell as well. Ma'am, during periods, what are the things that we can avoid?
We'll talk about this now.
Yes.
Yes, so let's talk about the hygiene. Now, of course, I'm sure all of you take bath and all. We don't have to teach you about that, why the hygiene is important. But when it comes to the menstruation hygiene, it's become really very important for us to understand why it is important, because if we are not taking care of proper care of ourselves, we might end up harming ourselves. So let's understand that.
Yes.
Now the first thing, ma'am.
So first and foremost, see, sanitary napkins are what you see on screen. Sanitary napkins are things that the females use in order to, make sure that whatever is getting, sort of out of the body, whatever blood is there, it gets collected here, right? And it can be disposed of. Similarly, tampons are like these bullet-shaped things which can be, used again, and it can be inserted into the body. And again, it's made out of cotton or an absorbable substance.
Yes.
So whatever blood is coming, it will get deposited on this, right? And again, it can be removed and thrown out. And whatever that you use, right? So whether you use a sanitary napkin, again, sanitary napkins, very commonly we say sanitary pads as well. Yeah. So for those of you who are asking, a sanitary pad is what you see on screen, and there's nothing to be feeling ashamed about. That's how a pad looks like. Yeah. And you can use a tampon as well, and that just collects the blood from the female's body. Yes? Why is hygiene important?
We will talk about that, right? Now just imagine we're talking about the point over here which says that we need, if you're using a sanitary napkin, you should remove it after 4 or 5 hours. Now if you talk about the blood, right, of course we know that we are using it so that it can absorb the blood. Now after 4 or 5 hours, what will happen? It will have some amount of, blood which came out of the body. Now of course this blood, it's not a waste thing, right? It has nutrient, because blood plays a very important role in carrying the nutrient. It has some nutrient, and if at all, if the pad is there, right, what will happen? It could lead to the growth of the various microorganisms.
Yes.
Right? And that could lead to a lot of UTI, that is the urinary tract infection in the female. So it's really very important, right? As it says, it truly is correct that we know a female needs to change the sanitary napkin mostly after 4 or 5 hours. If not 4 or 5 hours, maximum of 8 hours they should change.
Yes. And see, mainly it is blood, but also a mucus lining gets secreted, right? So in the inner lining, there's also mucus that is there, which is why it could be a little slimy. So that's the mucus, but mainly it's blood and mucus that is there. Yes. Does it have odor? So see, one thing is because of the the napkin that gets used, and of course, sweat will also be there, and our body is very normal. If some body odor comes out also mixed along with everything, may give out an odor, but it's a normal odor, right? There's nothing to be worried about. So it's nothing to worry about. But of course, if it's something that's worrying you on the inside, like we told you, anything that worries you and you're feeling uncomfortable, tell your parents.
Yeah, and if you're not sure about it, ask. Yes, so are we clear with this point, right? Why this is important? It's, of course, in terms of the hygiene. Now, again, a very important point is that wash your undergarments properly. Now, of course, I'm sure this we don't have to explain. We wash our clothes properly, and of course, the undergarments are something that stays with our body, right? They're very close contact with the body. So, if they are not washed properly, it can lead again to the growth of the fungal infection. So, and of course, many bacterial infection also. So please make sure that you're washing the undergarments properly.
Yes. And of course, discard the sanitary napkin, wrap it in a paper, right? Make sure it's properly wrapped and you throw it. Very important, do not directly flush it into the toilet, right? So if you flush it directly into the toilet, it will clog the toilet, right? Because at the end of the day, it is not very, hygienic to also sort of flush it out, because we think after flushing it is not our concern. But see, we have a sewage system, a lot of things get affected, and we have to do our part, right? At least make sure that we sort of put it away.
Yes. And most importantly, I'm sure you must have seen, right, if you discard it, it'll be there in the dustbin. And if you're not discarding properly, unfortunately, there are a lot of animals, right, which are kind of unaware about it. They end up eating, right? And sometimes it's kind of not safe for their digestive tract. So
use only pads. You are all very young kids, right? So I would say start off with sanitary pads.
Yes.
But there are alternative options. See, tampons are there, menstrual cups are there. But see, all of that, please, always be in touch with your, elder. But right now you can start off with sanitary pads and all of that is there.
Yes. And do you want to take that question of washing hair? I saw it like a lot of
Yes.
time.
Should why should we wash our hair during periods?
And like a lot of them asking, oh, should we wash like on 4th day, 5th day, or every day something?
Oh, for 4th day, see, I understand that, okay? So I'll tell you where that comes from, is that the first 3 days are the, your heavy flow days, and on the 4th day is when they say that, you sort of, in a very technical way, they say you cleanse yourself. There's nothing unclean about periods, okay? It's very normal. And yes, in some families, they follow that and it's okay. But if you wash your hair, you don't wash your hair, I would say that scientifically, there's nothing that's going to matter, right? So there are a lot of cultural practices. See, India is a cultural hot pot, right? What you would say. We have so many different kinds of practices that happen from different households. So that is very different from science that is there. And yes, you can carry a pad to school, wrap it in a paper, keep it on the side of your bag. Because if it happens in school, you will not be at a spot where you will be like, oh my God, I have it and I'd have nothing to take care of me. Carry your pads to school, wrap it in a paper, keep it inside your bag. Yes. Should we follow all these myths?
No. Very clear.
If you're science students, I would say that if you feel there is no scientific reasoning to it, you can not follow. But see, again, we respect household traditions, right? We entirely respect them, and if you feel you want to follow it, I would say that it would. Because we are talking entirely as, science teachers. We have no bias to the tradition. Every traditional household is different. So we are like not there.
Then moving ahead to the very important point, ma'am, that we were talking about. Do not hesitate in discussing. We are here, right? So don't hesitate in discussing with your elders, right? With your parents for sure. And yeah, that's important. And coming to the very, very last important point about this is, yes, keep yourself clean. Now, this just gives you so much of freshness, right? You feel good. There's a lot of energy. And yeah, I think that's very basic thing, right?
Yeah. So it's okay, guys. Like, be always hygienic, always be there, and it's fine. Like, it's eventually as you keep growing up. See, there are going to be days when it's going to be very tough, okay? Like, we are not going to lie to you saying that everything is going to be okay, right? There are going to be days when it's going to be a little tough, but you'll not believe it, the unbelievable strength our body has. Like, as you grow, you will realize that, right? Our body has incredible strength. We'll get through it, right? Just keep taking care of yourself.
Yes. And as I mentioned, because this is really very important, what happens if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will be, right? Eventually. So you need to make sure that you are right. And these are the very small things we can do for our body, right?
Yeah. And see, like, I think Prisha is asking a question. Does stomach pain start? See, actually, I'll tell you, it's a very interesting thing in female body. You actually get to know when you're about to get your periods.
Yes.
All of us have different signs, okay? Like, for some people, it's like, you get the shooting pain. Or sometimes it's one tingly sensation that tells you, yeah, today you're going to get it. Yeah. So over time, you tend to realize what it is for you, and you will be mentally prepared that, okay, this is my time. Yeah. But I think, ma'am, we'd always recommend, right? I would always tell you to mark it in your calendar. Yeah. Have a date marked. If today is the start of your period, mark it. So that you know that next month around this time, within 28 days, you will get it, right? Does it control your emotions? No. Just the hormones that are there. How many days? 3 to 5 days, 4 to 5 days. Yes. So, ma'am, I think we have taken this FAQ.
Yes, yeah. We have mostly covered up all the questions. How long period lasts? Just now you have mentioned, ma'am. How much blood comes out? That depends upon, the amount that we have, right? In the liters, of course, we'll not be able to tell you the exact number because it keeps on varying. Then, will I have the period for the rest of my life? We have already answered no. Ma'am, what about these questions? What is it? This is nothing.
Yeah, don't pay attention to that.
There's nothing. Yeah, we have made it socially a term PMS, but yeah, it's scientifically also there's a good definition for it. Just the body reacting to it.
Yeah.
Nothing more. Then, what can I do about the cramps? So this is.
Yes, for all of you, I saw some more here also. The pain is unbearable, so I get it. So guys, for those of you who are feeling cramps, have hot water, right? I mean, not hot water. Place a hot water bag on your tummy. Just treat it like normal muscle cramps. Every girl, yes, every girl naturally will have it. See, ideally it should be there, right? But sometimes due to some genetic factors, if the hormones don't work properly, that could get affected. So this is considering in a normal one. Yeah, some girls have it for 8 days. Yes, some of them
Yes.
have it for a prolonged period. Some of them have it for
Very short period also.
Wow, girls are unstoppable.
Very good.
Yes, Geeta, I've answered this question, but once again for you, we are mammals, right? Mammals are those organisms wherein the young one develops within the female body. And in humans, the development of the baby takes place within the female body. And this is a very important process, which is why it's seen only in females. Yes? Very good. So now, of course, ma'am, I think
We are kind of done with the session, and we are ending on this very interesting note, right? Neither change its name, right? Neither change its name or change its or change your thinking. Sorry.
yes, because there's nothing to whisper about it, right? So yes, having periods for a short time, see guys, it fluctuates, okay? In case if it's going to be a very constant thing, like we're again telling you that it's important to voice your opinions, yes? So Geeta, I think we've explained this. You can just rewind the video
Yeah.
and go to the part, right? So if you just go, yes, yes, that is correct, Aditi.
Yes, that's correct.
What is the meaning? It's a brand.
No, like
Oh,
you don't have to.
sorry guys. All
No,
right.
We whisper, right? In our
Yeah.
friends. Oh, if there's
Oh,
a
that was
teacher.
a pun.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Sorry.
So yeah, in the class when if there is a teacher whisper, right? That's a whisper meaning over there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think there was. So yeah, again for those of you, one more time, I'm going to reiterate this. If it, see, 3 to 5 days is a very biological, scientific thing. If it's lesser or if it is longer, and it goes on and on, tell your parents, right? So it's important to understand this particular part, right? So it's important to get this, and again, if it happens for 2 days and then it doesn't happen, and then it comes back in 10 days, then you know that it's irregular, which means something is wrong with the hormones and you need to get checked out. So in all of these cases, guys, please voice out. So yes, will you all be spreading this awareness to your friends? Will you be spreading the awareness? Very quickly, give me thumbs up.
And many people are asking whether it happens in dogs. Yes. As it's mammals, yes, it happens. Geeta, I think you have joined a little bit late, bache. After the session, you can actually watch this session again, and you'll have all the answers.
Yes, we've
Thank
gone
you.
into it very in detail.
Very good, everyone.
So of
With
course,
this,
we're
ta-da.
winding up. Join our Telegram channel. You know that.
Yes, today only we had a live session with you guys, right? So next week also, the teachers will be coming.
Oh,
so
no.
no, it's okay, ma'am. So if you haven't joined, the link is in the description below. Do click on the link and join the Telegram. Now you can ask your parents to join, right? And if you don't have the phone with you, it's perfectly fine. Ask your parents to join the group. You will get the session PDFs, session notifications. And
Yes. Of course, if you like this video, share it with your friends. Like the video, right? And hit that subscribe button because we've got you covered at all times, right? Thank you so much for being such wonderful students. I know we went a little longer than expected. We told you 30 minutes, but now we've almost touched 1 hour. But yes, with this, the class is over. And thank you so much for being such wonderful students. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
bye-bye, everyone.